Hi everybody, it's Kathy here, and I am coming to you with a very late version of Stretch the Sketch for April. I thought it was due this week, but it actually was last week, so I'm really sorry about that, but I still did it, so I want to share it. This is the sketch that we were to stretch, and we're not allowed to put it onto a same size layout. So that was a 12 by 12. We have to stretch it. So I am making it into a double like most people have for this season for this one. So I have taken this amazing set of papers from Uniquely Creative, and I am using it to create my double layout. Now, I had a lot of trouble with my papers getting this all coordinated and working properly, and it still didn't marry me up, and I think it's because when you do a double, you really do need to have the space to do that, and I'm working in a very small space, so it makes it life a little bit difficult getting them to marry nicely. So I do apologise that I'm doing a lot of trimming throughout this video, because my first trim was not great. My second time round was not even that much better. So it does work out in the end, but it was a little bit more difficult for me than it should have been. What I have done with my coordinating papers that I'm going to use for the diamond part that you saw on the sketch, I have taken two of exactly the same papers, and I have cut them into 10 by 10 squares, and then I also cut out again the inners of it, so they were 8 by 8, and I've used the black to pop them and layer them on top of each other so that I carry the pattern across. And that's really important when you want to have that continuity across a double page. So I wanted to have a little bit more interest on my page, so I've taken the gold solar paste and this stencil here, which is like a cobblestone, and I am just adding it to the two corners on both sides, left and right, because they are blank out of the diamond paper that goes down, and I just wanted a little bit of interest there. Well, you all know I struggle with white empty space on the layout, so this is a great way for me to fill that and add some more interest to the overall effect. And as the photos are of my daughter writing the penny farthing, where you saw me in my previous layout do a single one of her, these are a multiple series ones, so they're complementary to that page. So I'm just putting in this gold paste, and this gold paste dries pretty quickly. I like this solar paste. It's got a lovely shine to it, and it gives that antique-y feel as well, which I'm going for this overall feel on this layout. And I'm just going to go off and clean up those stencils so that that doesn't dry. So I'm back, and here you can see where I have cut the papers and then cut the papers again so that I could layer them up on there to get the diamond layered in. And look at those papers, aren't they beautiful? The colours are just magic, and they do have like a black rose print through it. It's just beautiful, that paper. Really nice. So I don't know why I haven't used it before. It's been sitting there in my packages forever, so I've decided now that I'm just going to use them. Otherwise they just sit there forever, and I'm not getting them used, and what for? So I'm going to use my papers. I'm just trimming off the excess there. Like I said, I had a terrible time with these diamonds. I had a hard time getting them to line up, but they work out in the end. They're not exact, but that's okay. I'm happy with that. I'm not exact either, so it works for me, and the overall effect is quite stunning. So I'm just going to run these two matching pieces across the center like the sketch has, and that's going to allow for that added interest across there. Most of it gets covered up, I'm not going to lie, but I know that it's there, and I followed the sketch. It gets covered up by photos, and it gets covered up by embellishments. Now, a lot of the embellishments that I'm using on here, I fussy cut way before I sat down to do this layout. It took me a fair while to fussy cut it. It was a full sheet, and I cut out all the flowers so that they fit beautifully onto this layout and go well with this collection of papers. So you'll see the finished part of my fussy cutting, not the actual event of me fussy cutting them. So now that I've got both of them, you can see there that it doesn't exactly line up, but that's okay because the embellishments will cover up that flaw. And I'm sorry, it just shows you that you can be as good as you like, and some people get it done excellently, and I don't. I do it the best I can. So here's the left-hand side of the page, and I love how these photos look. This is my daughter, as I said, writing the penny farthing. She was so proud of herself being able to write it without falling. Mind you, she is extremely light, so the guy was only just there to make sure that she didn't fall, and that was a great series of photos. Now, I do have video footage of that for her. I will put a QR code onto this sometime in the future so that she has that video memory as well. So I have left and right done, and so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to sort all of those flowers that I've cut. I'm going to put this strip across here, so the branding strip from the papers. I thought I was going to use that, but then I remembered there's this lovely grey piece that was left over from one of the strips, and I'm going to use that because it's a bit metallic-y, and I'm going to put that across the middle. And like I said, once the embellishments go down, you actually don't even get to see it, I don't think. Or if you do, it's very minimal. But that's okay. It's part of the sketch, so I wanted to keep true to the sketch as much as I could. And as I said, I have all the fussy cut elements here, and I am just sorting them into two piles, one for the left, one for the right, so that they have similar embellishments on both pages. And that takes a little bit of a sorting to do, but as you can see, there was lots of fussy cutting. Every single piece there I fussy cut out of one of the main sheets from this kit, and that's what I'm going to build my clusters from today. And they are just beautiful. I love them. They just are antique roses. They just all complement these papers beautifully, and the foliage is also there, which I will delve into once I start getting these clusters working. So I'm just going to layer them up a little bit. You will see that I've piled them in. I put them in under each other, tuck them under each other. I will, when I'm putting it down, go and glue them down and pop them up. As you can see there, I've popped them up a little bit. I'm now working the extra clusters. What I'm working on the left, I'm also working on the right, which you can't see at the same time. I'm really sorry about that because I worked that to the side. But they are the same or very similar in their colours on both left and right. And I do love how these clusters are coming together. That little embroidery hoop to the left with the little quote there, it's facing that way with the little tag going towards the centre. On the page that I fussy cut, there was one that's going exactly the same hoop but going the opposite direction, so it goes on the other side, which was perfect for this layout. Now I have put on that little journaling card there. I'm going to use that little label there to do some journaling for my daughter. This is for her Christmas album as well. She, you know, I like capturing the experiences, and then she's got that for herself as well, because I have my collection which I'll put into mine, and then she has hers. So I'm just layering up these flowers. As you can see, some are going down flat, others are being popped up with some foam tape. That's so that I have some dimension and some texture added to the layout, because I like to have that with the shadowing effect when I'm putting my clusters into place. So I'm just adhering everything in and tucking them in nicely and making sure that they sit on the layout and are complementary, not overtaking. And I really love how this is coming together. These flowers are just beautiful. Got some pinks and deep burgundies, which is perfect, and the blues. So there you go. There's that extra embroidery hoop going the other way. I think I've got that upside down there. I think I realised that in a minute and I fixed it. But that's pretty cool how I was able to use on both sides the same embellishments. Now I contemplate putting this today card in the middle, but then I take it out. Yes, I end up putting another little journal tag in instead, so I can put there. But what I'm going to do there is that's where I'm going to put the QR code for the video for her. So I'm just going to put the QR code in, and I'm going to put this hoop down with some flowers, and I'm going to tuck it in and that's, see, I realized I had it up the wrong way, thank goodness, and fixed it, and I've tucked that flower in as well. And then I'm just going to build up the clusters around like the right hand side, and you can just see how beautiful these all come together and how complementary they are. So once again, sorting through the flowers, making sure that I have the same ones in the same cluster. That's important because if you want balance in your layouts, you want it to look very similar from left to right, especially if you can with your embellishments. It makes a big difference on a double page, I feel. And this particularly, as it is the sketch and we are stretching the sketch, I like to be able to keep it the same on both sides so that it's stretched evenly across the layout. So what about you? Do you like to take a sketch? Do you like to work from a sketch? Do you make doubles or do you make singles? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm really keen and interested in how people scrap and what their thought processes are. We're all different and there are no rights or wrongs. I'm just curious as to the process that people go through when they're making layouts. For me, double layouts don't come naturally. My girlfriend does them all the time. I will make a single, she'll make a double. I do lots of singles. I'm a minute scrapbooker. In the second, the minute, the capture the moment. She's an event scrapper where she captures the whole lot. And so if I do an event, I would have multiple moments. She'd have them all together. So it just depends on your scrapping style. What are you? Are you an in the moment one or are you an event scrapper? It's interesting to find out how people work when they are creating their layouts. So I'm just tucking in little pieces of foliage here and there, making sure that this all goes in and matches. So if I tuck one on one side, I go and tuck it in on the other one on the opposite side as well, just so that those clusters are bulked up enough and that they are not just sitting there looking silly. I like the fact that there's like 4 on a single page, but when you put it together, that one across the middle runs across the middle, so it makes an odd number because you end up with 7 right across the double layout, which is important because you know I like odds. And when you put them together, as you just saw there, you have them together and you have those 7. Now, I'm struggling with those white spaces, so to make this layout mine, I have gone with the cut-off piece that I took from both sides and I've added them to the top left and the bottom right to put it in those picture corners, and that's how it's come together. And look, see how that cluster across the middle there runs? You can't tell that it doesn't match up so much because of that cluster, and it's actually sort of hidden the mistake that I've made there when I've been cutting those papers. You can see the detail by the depth and the different dimensions of the elements, and that adds to the overall effect of the layout. And I just love how this has come together. Having beautiful papers to work with makes a big difference, and as I said, I'm going to put a QR code on that square there, and that will allow her to watch herself writing the penny farthing. So thanks everybody for staying through to the end. There is a full playlist below from all the people who played on this month and did it at the right time. Go check them out, give them some love. Thank you for staying through and watching. I really do appreciate every single one of you. I know that it is time consuming to sit and watch a video, but I do appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Happy scrapping. Hopefully you'll get to scrap this week, and here's my next video for